Hey man, I'm dealing with a straight heartbreak right now, man. My Cowboys just lost. Like it was an upset day for your boy. Especially I talked all that noise on Facebook. Call. I'm not answering a call right now.
He was talking about every other team that was today. He went on there. I mean, before the second quarter, he was like, "Look at my." Baby, please. That's as y'all order, right? And then my mind went to wiggle. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Candy J, with another episode of Candyology, where, you guys, we talk about love, sex, and relationships. And, I think last week, we was talking to my bestie, LA, talking about dating and entrepreneur. Oh, if you missed it, go catch the replay on YouTube, Facebook Live. I think I even put it on IGTV already. Go watch that, okay? Oh, Father. Today's show is going to be talking about child support. Let's be fair. And I have one of my favorite couples back in the studio, y'all. Oh, I love you. Jay and Marcus.
Hey.
Thanks for having us here.
How y'all been? Been a minute.
It has been very well.
Awesome.
Oh,
And we still rolling though.
Catch me up.
We still rolling. The show was on.
So before we get into it, y'all, first of all, I want to let you know that Spice Up Your Sexy, it's a 30-day challenge starting February 1st. If you have not become one of my couples yet, let me just tell you a little bit about it. So this is for couples that have had kids and you don't know how to spice up your sexy, or you don't make time for date night anymore. The infidelity has happened, and so you're trying to rekindle some things, or you've been together for so long that you've gotten out of date night and just need to do a few more things. So my 30-day challenge talks about creating a safe space to talk about intimacy, all the way to being tied up and doing some things. So, if you have not checked that out, make sure that you go to YouTube or on Facebook and watch my video about it so that you can be involved. February 1st, I'm only taking 15 couples, and I believe I have 7 so far. So, get in where you fit in. All right. So, and then at the studio is happening on February 12th. We are having a couples game night, y'all. So bring your boo here to the studio in Fort Worth. And again, only taking 15 to 20 couples. So make sure you get in where you fit in. If you haven't decided what you're doing for Valentine's Day, yeah, got you. So let's talk about this thing.
We gonna be asking him that.
You asking me questions. Hey, she off topic.
I planned Valentine's. So
we decided we were gonna alternate Valentine's Day. So
She did her thing.
I did my thing last year. I mean, your girl did her thing. Okay?
What did you do for Valentine's Day?
So he challenged me, right? So
How did it start though?
So we were doing our podcast, and we were talking about Valentine's Day. He was just like, it's only for the women, and just. I said, you know what? You right. I will do Valentine's Day. I will plan it. Don't worry about me. I got it. Like a boss.
She did it.
That should have gotten your heart right there. But continue.
So I surprised him, packed up all our stuff, and Valentine's. When I say packed up, I mean had everything in the car. He didn't know nothing. Like clothes was laid out, instructions. Like I did the thing. Got there, pulled up. Flew to Cancun, had the room all decorated.
I remember seeing pictures. Yes.
She did her thing. She got a point for that one. She went up. She went up on that one.
Check mark. Okay.
I think I like 2 or 3.
Oh man, you would do the usual. Cheddars. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the extra rolls this time. It's Valentine's Day.
Where do I sign up? I'm ready to make our plans. So where do I sign up for the couple game night? Because clearly,
I got you after this.
I got a reservation, man. We straight at Cheddars. We ain't got what line. It's Valentine's Day.
So who watches the kids? See that segue right there.
Yeah,
who watches the kids while y'all are doing those things?
It depends. Mother-in-law, our older kids, make some things happen.
Make it do what it do.
And of course, we're a blended family. Those that don't know, so we got seven kids.
Did y'all hear them?
They reach all levels.
Okay.
I came with 2. Baby, my baby had fun. She was young.
You
What?
I came with 1 child. For everybody who don't know, I came with 1 kid. He has 4 children. Okay.
Man, who's counting? We really ain't counting.
I mean, you started the countdown, though. You did that,
So, how many kids?
Yeah, how many kids
do you have, Mark?
We got 7.
Okay, and how many baby mamas?
Oh, see, man, see, because it goes into it. So, man, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got 2. I got 2 baby mamas and a wife.
No, I'm not supposed to include it. You just said you just talking about the past.
The past.
This is the present. You know that.
I'm my bad. I try to include you in everything. My bad. I got 2.
Include me in that
Don't include you in that one. I got 2. I got a human and I got a female. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Keep going. My bad.
Okay. So walk us through this. Were you married to this woman?
Yeah, man. I was definitely married to her, man. I was definitely married to her. We was together since I was 14, 15 years old. We got a divorce in 2017. So yeah, we had a lot of history. Up in there. It just we had touched on this topic of divorce several times throughout our relationship. Man, what you'll never do. You know what I'm saying? Mark, I never do that right though. I know you always take care of your kids and until that they come knocking at the door. And it was like, I don't know this person. Everything you said that you wasn't gonna do, you did times 10.
So what do you think led to her changing the way or changing her mind about putting you on child support or what were the
that's easy. That's easy. And that's what we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Is that the system is used it's a weapon. It's a tool that women have. And you can say something, man, because there's women out there on child support.
Absolutely.
You was together for a certain amount of time with this person. I laid down and had kids. You entrusted them. You know what I'm saying? But throughout the breakup, I was this person being a good father. You know what I'm saying? I got to put these people in our lives to, it's bitterness. Let's call it what it is. It's bitterness. I'm gonna call it what it is.
Is that what you think? Bitterness. Break it down for me.
Let it out.
Because I don't think Mark telling me the whole story right now.
I mean, yes, you know what I'm saying? I think when, it's the saying, hurt people. So I think, however, no matter how many times you talk about it, grieving a relationship is a thing. Some people are just really hurt by it. So I think with everything, that's like one thing you can hold on to and hurt somebody. Doing the child support and the kids and using them on and the tools.
Have you ever thought about doing that?
No.
Because I never thought about it.
So like in my situation, I was just like, we can be fair all the way around. We can do this, this, and this. I don't like to stress that. I don't like to argue about that. Like, it's just way too much energy. And so for me, no. I think you should do what's right. You know what I mean? If you guys are gonna have an agreement and they do whatever their portion is, whatever, like absolutely. But sometimes your hand is forced and you have to go to court. Some people just don't act right. And not act right for me, not in the sense of just like the monetary providing. That's is I think sometimes people, or whichever the other party is, I can't just say men because there are women, like you said, on child support. The other party gets so content with, I mean, I'm cool with the every other weekend and I'm going to do what I want to do when I can do it, when it's convenient for my life instead of being fair. So like, that's the one thing that's just like, no, that's not how that works.
Right.
And I want to say this word, just so I won't sound like that man that's on child support, getting whipped by the system. I'm on both sides of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I pay my wife,
Excellent.
I pay
Yes.
that person.
Mhm.
I pay that person.
We know who you
You feel what I'm saying? And I get paid by the other, you know what I'm saying, by my other baby mother. I see it on both ends of the spectrum. And so I truly feel like I should say child support, it should be used for the parent that's not doing anything for that child. Not just buying things or providing money, but that's, maybe I'm not in a position to be able to pay child support, but I can be there for my child. You can't call me a deadbeat if I'm picking my child up every day and I'm making sure that, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing the role of a father, but not providing money. That right there, it's a crazy system how I feel about it, man. So I truly feel that the system isn't set up properly. And what I mean by that, I really don't think the system is really set up to be geared to take care of children. And what I mean by that is that if a man doesn't pay child support, a man gets locked up.
Mhm.
Child support doesn't stop. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It doesn't stop when he's locked up. So now that when I get out, now I'm facing an even bigger bill. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, there's no checks and balances for this child support system. I'm gonna give y'all history. I just paid somebody $22.5, not $205, not $225, not $2,200, Just dropped it off in one lump sum.
This is the whole reason why I wanted him on the show to begin with. Because the post that I saw, Father, in the name of
Yeah. I can be quite explicit. But I just dropped somebody $22.5, man. If the system is really set up for the kids, if that money is supposed to be used for the kids, with this everything that the government has set up there, checks and balances for. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, in order for you to get this right here, you got to do this right here. We need to see that you did this. Oh, if you own housing, we gonna come by check, make sure who living in there. That money, y'all, I'm not a violent person. Far from it. When I made a phone call and the response I got was, you can stop telling my kids I got money, that's my money. WWE. No, I'm lying. I went back to WWF, the original. You know what I'm saying? I was in that mug. Hot man, hold on, wait. This money was supposed to be used for the kids, right? 22,000. Y'all just take the good use for the kids. That now she can do whatever she wants with it, and there's nothing. There's no accountability on that piece right there. I've never been a person that told my kids no. You know what I'm saying? Go ask your mama. If I got it, you got it. But now I'm in a position now, like, your mama just got 22.5. Don't act. You can't ask me for nothing. Not against y'all. I had to tell my son that one day. My son called me and say, Daddy, can you send me gas money? No, bro. You need to, because what that other person used to tell me all the time is, tell them, ask your dad. Everything went through me. Ask your dad. Nope, I ain't got it. I got a budget. Ask your dad. And I became a bank. You see what I'm saying? I became a bank. So now it's like, no, you have to, I'm going to make her do something if I can. You got to ask your mama for that.
So what do you think that she's using the money for?
I don't know. Ain't no accountability piece on that. You know what I'm saying?
She pulled up in a rural.
No. Who?
Yeah.
Going on an extravagant vacation.
I don't know.
Oh, Father.
I couldn't tell you that, but that's
So when all of this happened, what was the conversation like, or was there even a conversation? That you're getting 22.5.
so watch this. I'm gonna watch this.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody that follows me, anybody that knows me knows I'm all about family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm all about family. Again, if I got it, kids got it.
Right.
You asked how did the conversation go? Prior to that right there, my kids, I had my kids almost more than she did. Almost more than she did. And my thing was this right here. Hey mom, like you trying to kill my character. Like I'm a bad dad, but you can't because it's documented that I always have my kids with me. Right? The conversation didn't go too well. Because I know it was always a money grab. It was always a money grab. Again, anything my kids wanted, we provided. Money wise, we definitely provided on this side of it. And I don't know. It was bad. It was bad.
How did you feel in this? What was your reaction?
Like initially you're just like, you know what I mean? Like, golly, but you have to try to look at the bright side of it. It is a bit. Like, I've just been looking like 5 more years to have to deal with this. Like, let's just hurry up and get this 5 more years. Because with that, it's not just about financial part. Now we arguing about custody. Now it's, well, you picked them up on these days. We were just fine. Like a month ago when we had a regular schedule. Now it's, oh, we're only going to do this. So it's more than just financial.
I apologize. But I got you. My lovely wife used to always tell me all the time, hey, now we need to stick schedule. You know what I'm saying? We need to follow X, Y, and Z. For me, I was like, man, my kids ain't never got an accident. They can come on my house. As long as I got room, they there. If it's her weekend, my kids call me, I want to come. Like, come on, you ain't got to stay over there. As it should be. Never had an issue. I never went to my safe, pulled out them paperworks, licked my hands, flipped through those papers, and said on page 9, it say on December the 13th, you got to pick them up at 6 o'clock and have them. I'd never done that. It was always ain't no issue. But lo and behold, whenever something need to be in that favor, like with that paper, like it wasn't nothing. Howdy, you got to pick them up at this time. You got to drop them off at this time. Hey man, this ain't property.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
So that's the frustration. Like, trying to look at it from both sides. He said originally, we were like, when we first started blending, it was like, I stick to a schedule. Because we have more than one person that we're covering, it just works better if we're all on the same schedule. Everybody's here at the same time. So I think with the kids coming over, it was like, well, the girls that live with us, they have to go to the other parents' house. It's not an option. It's not like, oh, well, they don't want to come this weekend. Well, they don't have to. No, that's not how that works. And so with the other kids, it'd be like, if that any day she could drop them off, she was dropping them off at Wednesday Bible study, she dropping them off at the house. I'm going to the grocery store down the street from your house, and they live in Crowley, we live in Arlington. She gonna drop them off. I mean, like, and I'll be like, okay, it's not nothing with the kids. It's just she getting too comfortable. And then it became, ask your dad. They need track stuff. Ask your dad. They need this. Ask your dad. They need that. Ask your dad. So I'm like, okay. The hardest thing about two people coming together blending is learning how to deal with them and the other parent. So to where I'm telling him these things, I'm not necessarily holding my ex-husband accountable for myself because I'm like, oh, it's cool, it's okay. So I didn't start getting child support until we got together. My daughter was almost 10 at that.
Oh wow.
Because I was just like, I don't want to argument or the hassle. Man, he picks her up. It just is what it is. I was just content. But he had to tell me. So I was like, it's one of them things you got to hold each other accountable, balance each other out. So I be telling like, we got to keep everybody on schedule because if we don't do this, then it's going to come out. And I mean, like, like clockwork. It'd be like if one's not acting up, it's the other one acting out. Schedule, child support, something that we need to pay.
So tell me, what was it? Just that you didn't want to deal with him and child support, or the hassle of filing? Was he paying?
So let me tell you. So he's gonna disagree. I am so non-confrontational. I do not like to argue. I'm just like, okay. So to me, pick her up, we good. So we would share like, okay, our birthday is this day, what are we gonna get? Christmas is this, whatever. Back to school is this. But to me, I'm like, she's my kid anyway. So whether you do it or not, it's gonna have to get done. So it's like, okay, well, can you do this? Oh, well, I got it. Oh, can you do that? And then he's like, no, that's not how that works. He, great father, I'm not saying that, but like, it became to where he felt like he didn't have to be responsible. So I'm not pressing the issue because I'm like, I know you're a good dad. I'm trying to look out for you. Like, okay, maybe his finances aren't together, whatever. And he had to tell me, like, that's not your responsibility. Be worried about that. So we had to go through that. And I think I was just nervous about, like, it causing the tension and then my kid feeling the tension. And I just didn't want to go through that. It wasn't right because that just leaves everything on me.
Right.
So then I jump into this and then it's like, okay, well, we do X, Y, Z because, of course, now when you're the new woman in the relationship, it's now your responsibility to make sure that your man, husband, whatever, is doing what he's supposed to do. And because I'm already on the receiving end, you know what I mean?
Right.
So of course we need to make sure that we're getting the kids, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're communicating. I mean, it was to the point where like he didn't even talk to them. I talk to them all the time. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's important. I tell them everything. Like one of baby mama, we cool. I tell her everything about her kid. This your child, so I feel like we need to talk about this. We need to do this. If it's anything outside of what her child support pays, we really don't even ask for anything. I feel like once you get the child support, it just is what it is. If the other parent decides to do something extra on top of that, like that's cool that they decide to do that. But I feel like you get your money, so that's what you need to budget that for because it should always go towards the. So like.
And she does a great like Jay. Them child support payments come in. I'll be like, probably go give me some shoes or something. Like she'd be like, oh no, I put this in the kids saving. It's their child. Hey, they get all their money.
So if you think about it, even if you're getting like $200-300, that adds up. Your kid doesn't cost that much every couple of weeks. So if you get $200, you get $400 a month for your kid. You put that aside because 1 month you're like, I mean, I ain't even need to use none of that money. But then Christmas comes, their birthday comes, they're joining sports, they're this, and that. That's no extra money I have to think about. If I go ahead and put all that in the savings, it's like, okay, well, I know it's about to be springtime. Our girls grow like crazy. Now they start getting spring clothes, spring shoes, all that stuff ahead of time. So that way I make sure that they're taken care of because that's what their money is for. It's not for us. So when you asked earlier, well, what do you think she's doing with the money? I don't know because you have 2 grown children, which this money had to go to also. And from my understanding, they ain't getting nothing. Because to me, I'm thinking you could have shot some money to this one for school or for whatever, to this one for these things, because that's what the money's for. But that's just how I would do it. I can't, you know what I'm saying, speak on nobody else, but that's how we do it, our girls.
But again, I said I'm on both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I get child support payment from my other baby mother, right? But the thing about it was, I wouldn't even go accept child support payment. You know what I'm saying? All I wanted was my child. You know what I'm saying? All I wanted was my child.
Wait, and then depending on that, and then you see how the roles have to go reversed again because now you like it's not about the child support, and I'm like, no.
We fought a lot over this
because if the roles were reversed and she was with her mom, anytime they wanted to like, we had to go not too long ago for an increase. It's not about that. We don't want an increase. But we do want an increase. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, she would have no problem with accepting.
And that's the only reason I put it on child support.
And he's like, well, it doesn't matter because it does matter because kids cost money regardless.
Right. Absolutely.
They cost money regardless. The shoe on the other foot, no, it's not about that. No, it is about that. Because every time I talk to her, that's what it's about. It is about that. You have to hold them accountable the same way.
Because Lord Jesus, I'll gladly take that. Because trust me, mine is very, very low on that child support scale, and I'm like, okay, wait, hold on.
Now, so you just mentioned that I at one point in time I wasn't even speaking to him. I was like, man, because me, I'm a person. I'm like, man, okay, it is what it is. Move past it. We good. And I would always forgive people. Like, man, you know, it is what it is, man. We got to move forward. Let's get it. Every single time I let up, something would happen. The very moment, like not for the personal stuff out there, but she was going through some stuff, man. I pray, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my hair cut one day. Like, man, how you on? What's his name? I'm like, all right, the best situation we've been in a long time. Do it. You know what I'm saying? We talking, ain't no issue. I swear for Jesus, I went home, laid in that bed, knock on that door. I said, man, I don't have too many white folks coming home. What it be like? What it be like, man? What you want, man? You know what I'm saying? I started thinking, man, did I pay that ticket? Well, I got a what, man? What's going on, man? I don't drive fast no more too often. I opened that door, my man said, Mark Hughes. I said, oh, this joker know me. This joker know me, man. He know me, man. Where he know me from now? That man said, I said, yes, sir. He said, you Mark Hughes? I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, well, you've been served. I said, not the movie. I took that mother. She's going to get an increase. Lord Jesus, I thought we was in a good position.
So listen. This is another issue. There's one kid. That's it. The other two are grown and aged out. One. They go, and she says she wants $1,800 a month. Child support. This one kid. I'm like, so my question is like, a girl, she's not like heavily involved in the after school activities. She doesn't attend private school. I mean, like, I'm just trying to figure out where this amount came from a month. We just purchased a house in 2020. We got in cars. I mean, you know, whatever. We work hard. Oh, she appraised all our shit. It was like this based off of what y'all, how your house is and your business is and your this.
No, we go put it all out there then. For about a year and a half, I kept getting these emails. Man, it's spam. It's got to be spam. Your IRS account. Somebody trying to get in your IRS account. I'm like, man, this is crazy, baby. This is crazy. I keep getting these spam messages by the IRS spamming me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until it was about time to go to court. Old lady said, I bet she trying to get into your account. Because what happened is, you know, give a big shout out to Premier Tax Consultants. You know, hey man, y'all ain't got y'all taxes done yet. Holler at your boy, man. We do advance up to $6,000. You know what I'm saying? Money can be in your account within 24 hours. Holler at your boy, Premier Tax Consultants. You feel me? I have to throw that plug in.
And if you're just tuning in, you're watching Candyology Love Sex Relationships with my girl, my boy Mark, and Jay Hughes, Premier Tax Consultants.
Yeah.
Get your taxes done. Taxes.
Right.
Continue.
And so, you know, man, I didn't make the money that I should have been.
That makes
But she makes something. Okay? So, someone was trying to break into my IRS account to see what I was filing on my taxes. You know what I'm saying? Because the time before, he was my life. He do taxes. He done fudge these returns and he make more than that, ma'am. I can only make. I can't make no more. Okay. So she was trying to break it to my.
So the problem is, I can.
So she was trying to get the transfer.
That's what.
I'm like, that didn't make any sense. Like, why? For all that, she can come over here and live over here. For all of that, we might as well just go ahead and take. She's already over here all the time anyway. So we might as well just go ahead and keep her for that because this is retarded.
Right.
It's not like they have ever, maybe one or two occasions, ever called them like, we need something. It was a braces situation. So girls both our girls need braces. One is 13, one's 12. So 13, she needs braces or surgery. Her mom just like, I made an appointment for her to get them done on this day. We need $2,400 to get them started. That sounds nice. So what day did you say you made this appointment? Because I'm not giving you $1,200 like to do. You didn't ask. Because before, when we first started, her thing was my budget. Okay, girl. Our budget. We got a lot more kids and stuff over here than you do. So I'm just saying, you didn't ask like, okay, well, we know we started. Go ahead and this process with our braces, this, and this. What do y'all think? This is a conversation. We have no problem with that. She's like, well, I made this appointment, this, and this. Well, I'll just pay it off. Girl, do your thug this one and pay it all. Like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do your thing. All I'm saying is, how can you just jump and be like, well, this is what I need by tomorrow? No, it's not how that works. That's how it all kind of started because we were like, no, we're not. And then she tried to do something slick and be like, well, y'all make these payments and he was just trying to be sneaky. So that's kind of what started it. And then it just kind of was a snowball effect with like the getting served, everything like just coming down to it. And we didn't say we weren't going to pay for it. It was just you just up and decided like September 15th, we get braces done on this day.
You can't bully me into doing things on your terms. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do stuff like that. So
what does your paperwork say about medical?
That's to be split in half. So the problem was not.
No, so medical went like this because she had insurance at the time. And right?
No,
did I have insurance? No. She had insurance because I was reimbursing her because her job was charging her insurance. I was reimbursing her insurance. Right? But at the same time, I had insurance. You know what I'm saying? That she was
right. So what it says is like you have two entrepreneurs in half, basically, right? And so originally at the start of everything, everybody had jobs, everybody had insurance. Now he's entrepreneur, she's entrepreneur. Everything has to go split in half. Perfectly fine. Not the problem. The problem is he had tell me I need to pay you this money on this day because you're not seeing how that make, you know what I'm saying? What we gotta do, because everything that you have to do is on you.
So the reason I ask is because like in my divorce decree, it says that Candace Jackson has all medical rights. And I have to consult with you about it.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's my decision. So that's why I asked that question.
Oh, absolutely. You can make the decision, but you know you got to make the decision to decide to pay it. So the whole thing within there, I think that's more geared to saying I'm going to make a choice because I am the custodial parent on what's best for the kid. I can consult you, but ultimately I have that. Absolutely, you do. But when it comes with the financial cost, you have to consider another person. Right. You don't have that right. So you can say I can make all the appointments I want to, but when you're trying to do this with your co-parent and they have to be financially responsible, you can't just up and say I'm going to do this on Tuesday without saying, because they might not have the money for you to do that on Tuesday. That has to be something you come together, and if you're not mature enough in your co-parent relationship to be able to have that candid conversation like this is what we need to pay. But we've never really had that. Like when we sent Michaela to college, it wasn't like that. Like with anything we've done, it's just been like y'all do it or I'll do it. Go ask your dad, go ask your dad, go ask your dad. I don't have the budget for this. That's kind of how it's always been. So,
oh my goodness. So, what happened with that situation?
Racist. She just got 22.5.
No, big facts. Yeah, there you go. That's racist. Hey,
my bad.
Aside from that, and plus
she got 22.5. She got what? Braces are paid.
Braces are paid. Plus, she gets $700 a month. You good? Y'all all right? I don't. You have one child. You have one child. You are perfectly fine.
So have you guys or have friends or family members that have people on the other side of things where they don't get enough for child support?
So watch this. And I'm just gonna be transparent with you. I've always had a thing against child support. I've always had a thing against child support. I never thought it was really beneficial. It was a 70s concept for when women wasn't working. It was housewives and stuff like that. And then, you know what I'm saying, the man would lead the woman there to make sure. So it's an old system that needs to be revamped. Everybody know that, right? But it wasn't until I got over here. It wasn't until I got over here and I started seeing, hey, hold on, man. You need a little stuff ain't adding up over here. Because I see my lovely wife over here doing her thing. You need to relieve some of the stress over here. And I found myself being real aggressive on it, you know what I'm saying? Because I did open my eyes to see that, hey man, sometimes the money that you get going, that you're actually paying for child support, especially if it's the bare minimum, you know what I'm saying? That money come and gone. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see it because at first I'd be like, man, hold on, you got light bills, you got this stuff. If you didn't have kids, you got to pay it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but that's why I say there needs to be checks and balances for it. It needs to be some type of way because a man always gonna feel like if I don't see my money going, I got an issue with that. I'm having an issue with that.
Because my son is about to be 7. So the grocery bill alone, all this boy eats is grapes, cantaloupe, watermelon, strawberries,
chicken nuggets and French fries. So that runs a big tally in my house. I probably spend about $100 a week for this boy in groceries. So, and that ain't what I get in child support.
Facts.
You know? So I talk to a lot of women that are like, I mean, I'm not trying to be bitter or anything. That's what they're telling me. I'm not trying to be bitter or anything, but that barely pays for, X, Y, and Z for my kid.
And so that's why I believe that co-parenting and having a relationship, man, because y'all lay down and have this kid. Mm-hmm. That's when a conversation can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a higher potential for you to come and get something from me, right?
Yeah.
If you just come and ask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if I know my kids need something, I got you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what her going, there ain't no issue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when you take different channels to maneuver and use the system as a weapon.
Yeah. Right. Because what I don't agree with is not allowing you to see your kid just because you're not paying. I don't believe in that.
No, so in our actuality, it's against the law. You can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do it. If you have an issue with me not paying, you take it to the courts. By law, you can't withhold my child from me at all. And so throughout this system, man, I really found myself reading up on child support laws and stuff like that. Because, man, like there's really not a good representation or advocate for the men out there in this area that I know of. Okay, for the non-custodial parent, for like that I know of. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I speak to men that don't know that, hey man, these laws are changing. The courts are more for 50-50.
Yeah.
They want 50-50. And so a lot of times they stuck with that old mindset that, man, it's always gonna be the woman, this is it. Now the courts changed. I'm a living witness. I got custody of my child.
Right. But what did you have to do to get custody?
Hey man, what I had to do is,
let me tell y'all. Okay. Let me tell y'all.
Jay said, let me pick this up.
Because it's an expensive act to be arguing about something really you can talk.
Right.
I will say, with my ex-husband, our divorce was like $300. We had an issue as far as what's on the papers and how we're getting this child support since we had this divorce. Mm-hmm. And I say all that to say, when I ask him to do other stuff, it's like, okay, well, can you or not? Because I mean, I get your child support, so it's not like a thing, but like, can you do this or not? So I know some guys are like, my child support is my child support. That's what it pays for. Do your thing with it. I'm not doing anything extra. And you know, some people are willing to do extra for their children, right? Easy. We've easily spent probably over $20,000 just going to court. This ain't a child. This is just going to court because an attorney is going to require that $5,000 retainer fee no matter what happens, right? So we're doing all this. So we got to pay our fee. So we know y'all got to pay our fee too. Mm-hmm. What are we doing all this for? Over a conversation. Over a conversation. You know this man is not going to deny his kids of anything. Right. I'm probably more the one being like, do we do that? Right? He's not going to deny them of anything. And anybody who knows him knows that. So you mean to tell me we spent all this money over something that could have easily been a conversation? Right. That's the part that pisses me off. Mm-hmm. That's just the attorney. That ain't the another $22,500 that was dropped on top of that. That's not including everything else that we did not get accounted for. So when we go to the court, we telling them we did prom, graduation, we do this, we done moved into the dorm, all that stuff.
Pause, baby. We had checks.
Yeah, checks.
I wrote her money off my company. Checks.
Didn't go through Texas General. Don't care about that. So, and that's the pissed off part. So you're that petty to where you're not even gonna give this man credit. Like, okay, he do be doing. No.
So you had all the receipts, and they still didn't give you the credit.
They tell you it has to go through Attorney General. But see, I know firsthand how bad something like that could go. So when we've been talking about it, it's just like, oh, babe, we need to do this the other way because, like he said, until you get to a situation where you want to be pissed off and I'll never do this, I'll never do that, and then they get mad about something, and here we go, we back in court with another $5. I'm not going. I've already told him we will not go back for nothing. So at this point, whatever they want, they're gonna have. So where it's like we're literally arguing right now on which weekends we get. Like that is the over a 13-year-old child.
Is that not in the paperwork?
Yes. But here's the thing. What? Her version of what's on the paperwork versus what we're talking about is two totally different things. first, third, and fifth weekend, this and this. But again, this all started for some bracelets because we were totally fine with every other weekend. Everybody's on every other weekend. All of our kids are together. It's three co-parents. Every other weekend, everybody's together. Oh, she got pissed off. She was like, nope, we need to do this.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, hey, this when you say bitterness, this one I'm gonna tell you what I say bitter. Her response was, she was like, hey man, we've been doing this like this with all the Maya on your stuff. She'll be over here by herself.
Yeah.
No one wants to be over by themselves like that, man. You know what I'm saying? She want to be over with her siblings.
Right.
She said, shoot, the only sibling she got is my oldest son that's over there.
Well, she said, well, it's a good thing that he's there and she can see her sibling. And I'm like, so you're not the petty bitch here. Excuse me.
Wow.
So you just trying to disregard that there's other siblings over here. She's like, well, is he my kid? So that it's to the point where I try to be like all for the women and all that, but she real life pissing me like
because it's ridiculous. It's not. It's uncalled for.
Hey, JB, I see Jay there. She'd be like this.
And
and she'll go back and delete it. No,
Yeah,
we're not gonna do that. Let's be gentle. Give it to me.
Have y'all seen that TikTok where the girl's going, take it down, God, take it down now, Holy Spirit activate.
Yeah. And then you sit there, look at now you're doing it, sitting there thinking about all the things you should have said. Like, you know what? All the things that you want to say, you just like, I'm just like, hey, these next 5 years, I'm not going back to another courthouse.
Right.
If you don't ever want her to come over, that's fine.
And it seems like you and your brother had the same issues because he was on Facebook talking about it too.
It ain't just me and my brothers. It's several men.
I know.
It's several. My baby. Several non-custodial parents.
I mean, because there's some women who are non-custodial parents, and the situation can be. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of times they just it's just system. It's just a horrible system, man.
Because I remember him. I was listening to him on Clubhouse one day, and he was just ministering to some other brothers that were going through the same thing, and I was just like, man, my heart is breaking right now because it's ridiculous. You should not keep your child away. You should not be taking someone through the ringer. And I get it that the court systems, they do what they want to do, especially in Texas. It's really in favor of the mother for the most part. Because I know for sure that I didn't do anything, but they accused me of being neglectful and all of these they came for me in divorce. And I was like, all I want, I don't even care if you, I really don't care at this point. All I want is my child because they keep for 30 days. So I'm like, and the thing about it is that the favor of God was definitely upon me because every time I stayed at the courthouse every day going, and she would be giving me tips and all these things to keep me. But I was sitting in the courthouse listening to all of these cases come through about the manipulation that these women, and it was mostly women that were and he did this, and so he shouldn't see the baby. And it was all about money. All about money.
And I look at it like this when it comes to the women like this, man, is that, man, at one point we had this thing called love with each other. You know what I'm saying? We loved each other to death, right? But now that love connection is gone, and now my love, the only connection we have is through the child, and so you can't whip me any other way, but through these kids. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're using the kids to try to, and to be honest with you, man, like you talked about my post, man, it affects the kids. It affects the kids because at some point, and she be telling. When me and my wife had a divorce, man, a lot of stuff came out. A lot of stuff came out on my end. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been the one to sit back and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. And so it'll have your kids looking at you a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? And then she'd be like, man, Mark, sometimes you probably just want to sit down and tell your kids.
It's not like
I'm not trying to kill
their business. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they just need to hear it. Because some parents, I tell my kids, that's like the whole thing is for me. It's not about bad talking your other parent or whatever. I'm not with them. That does not matter to me. They still your other parent. So there's no point for me to do that. And I tell him all the time. He said they've been together since you were 15. My ex-husband and I were together. I was like 9. I know him, so nothing should surprise me about anything that he does because I've known him for so long, and most people don't change that much. So the sooner you're like, that's the shit they would do, the better that it's gonna be because you're like, yeah, I knew that was like, doesn't even surprise me. Start making yourself angry and getting upset about some shit that you already know that this person was capable of doing. So it's really just about like, it's about the kid. Letting all the other shit go. I don't care about the past and what happened, whatever. We gotta get the kid out the house.
Because let me tell you, and to your point though, the best thing that my father could have ever done for me, he didn't do it until I was 6. But he told me all the things that happened between my mom and him. And it was the best thing since, because there were holes there. There was questions there. There was like, but why did this happen? And then I saw this. And so I never understood until he bridged all the gaps for me. I was like, oh my God. Okay, that makes so much sense. So you just never know.
But you had to be an adult to be able to do that. Yeah.
Because my post that I made, you know, of course I was out of anger.
Oh yeah.
You know, it caused, you know, I got adult kids. You know what I'm saying? So you know, me and my daughter, we kind of fell out behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because I really meant what I said, but again, I wasn't considering that is their mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't considering that was their mom and stuff like that. So you know, and then shoot, I was airing out like, you know what I'm saying? And so you sit back and you think like, hey, mama dealt with this, and this. You know what I'm saying? Then you want to go blast on it, y'all. But you know, he's another hit.
I mean, because it's one thing just to tell how you felt about the situation, what your facts are. You know, not down the shaming of the other parent. It's not worth it. You know, but at least telling your side of things, absolutely.
And figuring out what they, because you don't know what they could be assuming, they could be listening to some conversation, right? Listening to, you know what I mean, conversation,
piecing things together,
right? Okay, that's what that, and then we're blended, so you know, my mom said, your mom, you know what I'm saying? All that other stuff is just a whole bunch of mess that can be avoided. So if you are gonna always tell them, just talk to them. I mean, I'm not saying there to say, well, no, because this is what happened. I did it. I'm not saying that. Talk to them, see where their head is at, see what they know, and figure out a way how to tell your side of the story without giving too much. Because at the end of the day, I don't care about what my parents really went through. I just know that I never had to see X, Y, and Z. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. That doesn't mean I didn't have to be exposed to it.
What was that question?
Oh,
girl, PTSD from certain things.
Yeah.
So I completely understand. So have you guys really sat down with the kids to talk to them about this situation? How they're feeling about the situation?
Now, at that point in time, I was you know, it took me a long time. So when that stuff happened, you know what I'm saying? Of course, my daughter, she was like, man, you know what I'm saying? She said something that I felt like was a stab on my back. I'm like, you realize I give sometimes out of lack? You know what I'm saying? Like, you realize that this, and this, and this, and this? What? But at that point, I said, hey, both of my older kids, hey, man, if y'all got an issue with what I said, my line in the sand is drawn. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I meant it. But, you know, that was emotional.
The thing about it, though, you just said they didn't know, though. They didn't know that you might have been giving out. And that's one thing that my father definitely told me later on. He was like, well, you know, your mom did this, this, and this, but it was because she didn't have from me on this side of things. She kept me away from you for, you know, for all of these different reasons, you know? So you just got to think, they don't know. And that might, as an adult now, that you can be like, okay, well, sometimes I was on my last nickel. And I gave your mom my last nickel to take care of you, you know? And you didn't know that. You didn't see that because I sheltered you. And as I should have as a parent.
Right.
So you don't have any issues on your side of things. Okay. That's good. So y'all have a great relationship with us. That's amazing. Because, you know, some people, after you start child support so late, they have bitterness and anger.
And I thought that I really thought it was going to be like that. I thought if I would ask, like, you know, Christmas, like my daughter should her dad that way. I refuse to pay for them. So when it's time to come down to it, I'll be like, so you getting her some sneakers for Christmas? Like, what we doing? Because I hate the Nike store. I hate StockX or whatever it's called online. That's the type of kid I have. And I'm like, since you created that monster, you do it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I don't expect more than what you're going to decide to do. So if you're going to get one pair of shoes, I guess that's what that is. I can't let that stress me out. So on that end, nah, it's we still trying to figure out on this end. And it's not both parents. Yeah, one parent is cool right now. The other parent is
So
wait, you said
So the
because
thing is,
they seem to flip
flip-flop.
So like then once you get over one hurdle, you like, okay, finally we got that box over there. Then this other one is, and so what I've been trying to do and put into his ears, like, so we do it. Because again, we're not going back to her. So like, I know it's about to come back up. You know what I mean? It's her only child. No mother wants to be away from their kid. You know, it's going to come up and happen. So what is going to be our game plan to avoid paying another $5,000 for an attorney?
But this is the type of parent I am. And she can attest to this. Recently, I said, man, my whole thing is I wanted my child back. The history behind it, she jumped up and shot Callie with my child. You know what I'm saying? Didn't call and cuss her out. But again, I've been reading up on the law, so I was like, okay, I know you can't run off with my child. You know what I'm saying? But child support paperwork, I use that as a, hey man, if stuff don't go right, now we got something we can fall back on. I'm never go hammer her with the papers. She can come get anytime she wants, and I'm never go hammer her with papers. Now this is for if you ever act a fool. You know what I'm saying? We got a safety net. You know what I'm saying? We got a safety net. And so just recently, man, I know London's her. And I was sitting there talking to Jay, and I'm like, man, I just feel that, I don't know, maybe as much as I love my kids with me, I don't know how it's affecting her to be away from her mom. Maybe we can reconsider this whole deal. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is,
I was like
10. My thing is, I don't want to be in a position to get whipped again.
So London is very loves everything. Be with my mom.
She's gonna try to please everybody.
Yeah, she's not gonna be like, I'd rather be over here. Like some kids be like, nope, I'd rather be this parent house. This like, no, I want to be on my mom's house and my dad's house. And she wants us all to go on family vacations. Like that is the type of kid she is. So asking her, she doesn't want to hurt his feelings. Like, I think we both really trying to make it a point to be like, spend as much time with your mom. Like it's not about you not seeing her, or you want to get her these weekends. She always knows she can come get this girl whenever she wants to, or she can stay longer when there's extra days or whatever the case may be. But because she's getting older, because the situation for her mom has changed, or more stable, or whatever, it's gonna come up because nobody wants to be without their kids. So it's like, what are we gonna do just to get ahead of it?
right.
I think one of our main drawbacks is just like, we like in a better school district stuff now. So of course it's like this environment where she's really thriving. We know that we can afford to be over here, but our mom might just say, you know what I mean? So it's just, now we're thinking about different stuff. Like, okay, that could be cool. We're like, oh, what school district she in? Do we want her to be over there? She's been doing really good in volleyball. So we're like, okay, of course we want her to be with her mom and also this stuff, but we also have to protect her and do the best with her because we're the custodial peers.
Have y'all had this conversation?
Now, because I don't want to have it until we are totally on one page, one accord with it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to call her and be like, hey man, this is what I'm thinking. And then be at the end of the day, be like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even gonna put her through that right there, but it's something that I have been thinking about. You know what I mean?
And I mean, when we first got together, she would ask like, and they with their mom, he's with you, like, why am I not like them? So like, I know that it probably takes a toll on her, but the type of kid she is, she's so resilient that it's just like, yeah, really.
What made you make the decision to have her in the first? For you to have custody?
Yeah. So it was the Cali trip. She went, you know what I'm saying? And we've never had that. You got her this weekend. She used to make fun all the time. She was like, what plan are y'all guys on? Like,
yeah, she'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna drop her off at daycare and then she's gonna pick her up. And I'm like, so there's no type of Monday through Wednesday at this time because I'm military brat, so I like structures and all that stuff and schedules. And they're just like, I got her today and I'm gonna take her to daycare at 11. And I'd be like, well, what daycare lets you drop their kid off at 11, first of all? And stuff like that. So like, no schedule. I'm gonna get her, you get her, I'm gonna get her. I missed her today. I'm gonna pick her up. Like,
Oh.
Yeah, so when we I went and I want to put myself on child support. You know what I'm saying? I put myself on child support, And when the court came, just laid out all the facts. And the crazy thing about it is the judge actually, he was like, ma'am, when y'all was here, y'all split the baby 50-50, right? She was like, yeah, we did. He was like, so how do you expect him to still parent 50-50 with y'all in California?
Right, all the way over there.
She said this statement right here. The judge was like, she said, easy, he can always FaceTime or or Skype her. The judge say, man, if you say FaceTime, she's like, man, listen, you gotta have that baby back ASAP.
Not the same.
Oh yeah. So she was going, man, she had been through a whole lot. Get it? Yeah, she had been through a whole lot, man, and some of the decisions she made and choices out there wasn't the best. It put Lily in the best situation, so it was best that the child be with me at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Man, because you just never know what people say. You know, I have a friend that her ex-husband has the custody of the kid, but it's because she's selfish.
and sometimes it's like that.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like that.
But this was totally different though, because I think she'll go over and beyond for her. I don't, on my end, I don't think it's a situation to where I will ever have to question anything dealing with her. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I think beginning, he had a lot more control in this situation because he was just like, okay, we'll do whatever. It was one of them things like you can be like, my shoes are messed up and now I need them so I can get new shoes so I can go take London to school. And you'd be like, what the fuck do your shoes got to do with taking her to school? I don't understand. But I'm going to give you this money for these shoes. And I'd be sitting there like, make it make sense. She said her shoes is messed up, but she need to go buy her some shoes to take London. It don't make sense. So I think she was in control of the situation.
Right.
My kid. And we had to reel that shit back in because I was like, nah, this is what we not about
if
to
my
do.
child needed something, I was giving my child.
No, let me tell you one day. Let me tell you what happened one day. So one day when I first met her, and Mark had this snow cone stand, and he was like $3 for my snow cone. So I'm just messing with her. She's like, as long as she's your kid, I'll never have to pay for a snow cone. This. I said, see, this is why I know we're gonna have a problem already. Because it was not that serious over $3 snow cone. But then she proceeds to say, oh, I need this money for my light bill, this, and that. So I'm just sitting there at this time, I'm like, oh, he's like, all right. Whoa. First fucking off. It's her light bill. I'm trying to figure out why she could just come to you and be like, guess what? If you can't pay your light bill, the kid probably need to be with me then, because I don't understand what.
Because if you get
but see, this is why some men need a good woman. Hello, tell them, because I'm like, oh, my girl, she in Cancun. Oh, my girl, she in New York. But for her not to have no light bill money, she got a lot of fucking travel money. So I'm just trying to figure out where the money is going. And see, sometimes it's just my kid. No. It's not for your fucking kid.
No.
Because she's traveling everywhere, but she can pay her light bill. So that means she took her light money to pay. So now you pay rent, light, gas, food, whatever. So she can go be in Cali, New York, Miami, all this other stuff. While you picking up this kid, because remember, I'm going to pick her up on Tuesday. I'm going to keep her for 3 weeks while you out here living your best life. See, I don't condone that. So I think we have to kind of reel her ass back in a little bit and be like, this is what we not going to do. Again, she's a great mom. I ain't going to take it away from her. I just think she kind of thought, I can do whatever I want to. And then it was like, snatched her. It was like, okay, I can't do what I thought I was going to be able to do. Let me do that. But sometimes I think people use that shit as an advantage. And a lot of people, sometimes it's a lot of men that are just really be like, I'll go do this. And I'm like, you shouldn't have that much accessibility to somebody like that. Riley's dad, we cool or whatever. But I don't think I should be able just to be like, I need some tires for my car. Can you come do? Like, because we're not.
Wow.
Because we're not.
It's happened.
He thinks I'm being petty about something. But I'm just giving an example. I shouldn't be able to call him because that doesn't have nothing to do with him anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I wasn't dating anybody else, that shouldn't be my go-to person because it doesn't have nothing to do with her. Right. She's got to go to the doctor. She needs something. See, that's totally different. But I shouldn't have that much accessibility to him. And the same for, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Right.
If they need it for the kids, absolutely. But none of them women can ever call him, even before I was his wife, to be like, well, I need to, girl, I don't give a shit. So do we. Like, I don't care. The fuck do you mean? Well, we need to grow. That is a personal problem. If let's got to do with track, prom, anything that's with these kids, we got that. But like, your personal shit, that's your personal shit.
See, like my situation, I'm like, Mark, this is just a guide. So the moment I enforce this is something you've already crossed your boundaries. Yeah. For instance, like I have my son Monday through Friday. I take him to school, pick him up, all that. On Friday, he gets dropped off at 4, and then I don't pick him up again until 7 o'clock on Monday. Right? Mm-hmm. But this is not in the paperwork. It's first and second. I mean, first and third is when he's supposed to. But every single Friday, you get to see your child. We do that exchange. Right?
What day was it? It was first, third, and fifth weekends, and it was some crazy day out the week.
Oh, and Thursday. Oh, Wednesday. So when we first
it was a crazy day out the week, just a random day out the week.
We got together because MJ lived with us and the girls lived with her, and so it would be like Wednesday she would have to pick him up, drive to Cali, bring him back to school in Arlington. Thursday we'd have to pick the girls up, they spend the night at our house, and then take them to school on Friday in Cali. I'm like, first of all, we barely get the ones to school on time that we get. So you really think we're getting the Crowley from Arlington early in the morning? I said, no, I'm not cut that shit out. Who's doing that? Like, I'm not about to be doing that. Right. And it'll be stuff like that. Again, it should never be a problem. I don't care about that. But when it becomes a problem, in our situation, it'll be, we had them this was our first holiday. This for Christmas was the first time that we didn't have any of them. We always have them for the holidays. Oh, wow. And she'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be gone all week. You're like, bitch, wait, hold on. We didn't even talk about this. Like, technically, it's your Thanksgiving. Right. Well, they called their dad, and he said they could stay. But see, that y'all didn't ask me. That's the problem. Y'all asked the wrong person.
You got to ask the lady in the house.
He said, oh, okay. But he would do stuff like that constantly. Or when they have, like, an extended break from school. Oh, I'm going out of town. What the fuck you think your kids was going to go? Right. You didn't ask. Not ask, but you didn't even check to see if maybe we want to go out of town. Maybe this is the time for you to spend time with your kids. Right. So the frustrating part is you do all that type of shit. And now it's like, no, I have plans for the rest of the year. If you just started the year and you got your shit for the rest of the girl, come on.
That's immaturity. And selfishness it sounds like.
Pettiness it sounds like.
Lucifer's daughter is what it sounds
like. But I just feel like, she's 13 at this point.
Next to Ken. Sound like an action show.
Well, guys, you can always come back to this show at any time. I love y'all.
Yes. We have enough to write a book over here.
I know, and you should.
Right. We probably have a reality show for real.
I'm working on one. Red is 3 letters. Violets are blue.
Oh my gosh.
But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Ology. This shall be on YouTube and IGTV tomorrow. And you can find Mark and Jade where?
Oh, this is okay. You can find me and my wonderful, sexy husband on Facebook, Mark Hughes and Jade Hughes. You can also check out our business pages on Facebook, Premier Tax Consultant, Premier Credit Rehab. Get your credit and your taxes together. We got you. And then on Instagram, you can find me at I am Jade Hughes. And what is your Instagram?
Get your taxes done. Get your taxes done. Hey, get your taxes done. Oh, hey, get your taxes done.
FPTC.
So I can't do it, y'all.
Okay. Really? And you guys can also, of course, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at Candyology.
Oh, yeah,
TikTok. Girl. I only got about 10 videos on there right now.
My daughter got on my video.
Oh, Lord Jesus. But I've been having fun in this. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We will be back on. Actually, I'm skipping a show, so because College is turning 7 on the 24th. But I'll be back on January 31st at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. And I am wishing you love-filled days and orgasmic nights. Have a great day.
Okay,
man.